Hello, and welcome to Beyond Books, where we talk about books and we talk about what annoys us about books. I'm your host, I'm Renee, and today I'm going to do the I'm So Annoyed book tag. This tag was started by Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, and I was tagged actually by two people, MJ at Reading This Life and Pat at Book Chat with Pat. So let's get started on the first prompt. So, first question: do publishers ever do things that you find annoying? And give an example. Well, I think one of the most annoying things when it comes to what the publishers have done with books would be the kind of print that they use on the back of a book, or sometimes even on the front of a book, that tells you basically what the book is about. If it is lime green print on a black cover, or if it is, like a yellow print on a pink cover or something, I can tell you I'm going to have a hard time reading that. So that would probably be my pet peeve as far as what publishers do. I would say the size of the font and the color of the font can really make a difference, especially when you're trying to make a decision in a bookstore about whether or not to purchase a book. You want to really read what's on that cover, and when you can't do it even with your glasses on, it's not a good day. Okay, second question is whether or not I have ever been annoyed by a spoiler. Even something as simple as someone mentioning that there is a great plot twist. Um, I can honestly say no, I haven't. I'd rather not maybe know about something that could be considered a spoiler. But in most cases, you do want to know at least a little something about the book before you go ahead and jump in. And so usually I've appreciated more so than becoming annoyed with the information that I've received previously about a book. There are some books that I know have uh, maybe something mysterious about them, and I really don't want a spoiler. And so I will definitely try to avoid any kind of reviews that would have those spoilers. So I do appreciate if they're marked somehow. And then it's also the opposite way. There's some books where I know there's something in there that's going to be kind of sensitive for me, and I'm not sure if it's a book that I really want to delve into, or subject matter I don't really want to delve into. And sometimes it's helpful to know what somebody else has said about that prior. It just kind of helps get you in the right frame of mind, maybe, for that book. So, yeah, that's how I feel about spoilers. Okay, and prompt number three is: have you ever been annoyed by something that you found in a little free library or a used bookstore? Give an example of what you found and why you felt annoyed by it. Probably the thing I remember the most feeling annoyed about was in a free library. There were several when I lived in Florida that I would visit frequently. They often had really good books in there. People would put their beach reads and things like that, and so the quality of what was left in there was, I think, pretty high. And so there were several that I would visit, and this one day must have been after one of our hurricanes or a bad tropical storm or something. Um, the library had leaked terribly, and the books were just floating on the bottom, just totally destroyed. I think there might have been a Bible in there that was like turning moldy, and there was, some other books that probably were in good condition when people put them in there, but yeah, they just got totally soaking wet. Every once in a while, there's maybe someone that leaves some trash in there that's kind of annoying, or things that don't really belong. One time I did find a little hand painted ornament that someone had made, and it had, a little comment on the back that you're supposed to go on Facebook and say where you found it, and then kind of pass it along to somebody else. So that was actually kind of charming to find that. So that was a good thing. It was, making something nice out of something that, I don't know, maybe would have annoyed somebody else, I guess. So the next question is about reading a collection of short stories, and whether or not I would feel annoyed by finding a novella in the middle of the short stories. Um, Short answer, no. Uh, Not if it were a good novella. I probably would be happy that I found it. So, not sure necessarily length of the story would make a whole lot of difference. I might choose a story within the book that I feel I had time to read at a particular time, but just because one is a bit longer, not sure I would necessarily be annoyed in particular by that. Number 5, deckled edges, beautiful or annoying? Beautiful. I think anything that can set the book apart, make the outside appearance of it, pleasing to you, is helpful. So, no, I like deckled edges, or like I say, anything else that would be different and just, maybe something that attracts me to the book. So, fine with that. Okay, next question. Am I okay with other people's annotations being in a book? And do I find that annoying? Um, no. I got really actually kind of used to that uh, because I purchased mostly used textbooks when I was in college. I was on a shoestring budget, so I was always glad to find textbooks that were used. I didn't care if someone had already highlighted or annotated things. Truthfully, sometimes those things would help me. I'd take a lot of biology courses, pathophysiology, pharmacology, things that were, complex with a lot of memorization. And sometimes it helped me to see what was important to other people and what they had pulled out of that text previously. So I think I learned to appreciate them in a way. Now, if I were to buy a used book and it had, a lot of annotations that really weren't worth anything, I mean, I wouldn't want, somebody to have written their grocery list in there or anything. That might be a little bit annoying, but basically, they end up kind of becoming part of the book, and it's good to know someone cared enough about the story to actually, make some comments about it. So, yeah, kind of okay for the most part. Okay, next, if there's a series or a collection of books and changes are made, would you find that annoying? Um, I guess it depends why they're made, uh, what kind of changes we're talking about. Is it something that just kind of updates the story and modernizes it a little bit, or is it something that completely changes the flavor of the story? I don't know. I'm not sure I really follow that question. If changes were made, would I always maybe even know that? I don't know. I'm not sure. Not sure how to answer that question. Um, if I figure it out in the coming months, I'll get caught up on that one. So, next is, do the characters' decisions ever annoy me? Uh, that's a good question. It depends probably how they're presented. Um, Bad decisions, good decisions, so decisions, decisions I wouldn't necessarily make for myself, uh, are the decisions that the character made. If I knew maybe why they made those decisions, I should have some maybe insight into what's going on in their mind and their heart. And so I should have some understanding of why they made it, even if it's not the decision that I would have made. Moves the story forward. And yeah, it's not my story. So, no, I would say in general, doesn't annoy me. Okay, am I ever annoyed by how other people organize their books? Nope. Nope. That's their books. They can organize them however they like. If anything, I find it interesting if I go to somebody's home and they have a lot of books and I notice that they've maybe done something with their organization that I wouldn't normally think of. I might even ask them about it and say, well, what prompted you to do that? I noticed that since I've had the YouTube channel, I'm a little more conscientious of where I put books on shelves and how I store them, because I may want to do a video about a particular set of books, so I keep them separate. For instance, the other day I did the book haul. I kept that all separate in its own box so I can kind of keep track of, how many of those books I read, and, be able to say, oh, this is from my mystery haul, or like, that type of thing. And then I keep the ones together that I've read for a particular year, particular month. It just makes it easier when you go to find them later, when you're doing a wrap up or, something of that nature. So, yeah, I think I've paid more attention to it lately, but how anybody else does it is entirely up to them. So, next to last is share something bookish that you find annoying. Um, I'm a little annoyed sometimes at trying to find a good and meaningful way to pass along books to other people. If you leave them in the free library, you're never really sure the people who pick them up, do they ever read them? Um, what did they think of them? Do they appreciate you leaving them there, or did they just grab a handful of them to fill up a shelf and make their house look pretty because some of the books you left had the right colors on them or something like that? Um, and then sometimes even when you pass things along to other people, you're really not sure, is that the type of book that they really like to read? Or so, I don't know. I'm buying more books now. Be kind of nice to find a place really where I could sell them for a little bit of money back. It's just kind of a reinvestment. It's not necessarily that you need a couple of dollars for every book, but it would be a little bit of a reinvestment. And then, the person who purchases it from the used place that you sold it to would be paying a little bit of money for it. So, it's important to them too. So, you kind of have this idea that just passing things along for free is like, the best way to do it, but is it really? I don't know. Um, I wouldn't mind giving the books to like a hospice or something where I know, people are hopefully going to appreciate them. People who are visiting their loved ones and having to stay for a long time might appreciate having a book to read, take their mind off things once in a while. So I don't know. I need to find myself a good place where I can donate, or a used bookstore that I really can do some good trading with and feel like, it's a good give and take back and forth. The last question is about tagging other people. Um, this BookTube tag has gone around quite a bit, so I think I'm just going to leave it open. If you are interested in doing the I'm So Annoyed book tag, then take a look at the prompts that I'll have in my description and go for it. Yeah, and tag me so that I'll know that you did it and I'll know that you saw it on this video. Sounds like a good way to do it. So thanks for watching and have a great day.